Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review tonight, The BlacKkKlansman. So, I don't know, this looks kind of interesting. I didn't have it on my list at first, but now it is. It's about an African American police officer who manages to infiltrate the local KKK branch and with the help of a Jewish surrogate who eventually becomes its leader, based on actual events. So it's based on a true story. That's kind of cool. An African American infiltrates the KKK. I can't wait to see what happens here. It stars John David Washington, Adam Driver is in it, Topher Grace from that 70s show, of course. How many Tophers else do you know? Alec Baldwin's in it, Isaiah Whitcock Jr., just to name a few. I'm sure there's other people that'll pop up. This is just off of IMDb. It's normally better when you see them in the action. 7.8 on IMDb. So I got some high expectations based on a true story. It's also listed as a comedy. So now it is long, 2 hours and 14 minutes, for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'll check it out and see if it's worth the time. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. Want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching BlacKkKlansman. We're at the 1 hour, 21 minute, and 49 second mark. So we're over the halfway point at this juncture. And, synopsis is a little bit more clear now because I thought it was interesting. So, I don't know if you've ever seen Ballers. Reggie from Ballers is the main actor in this one. And he becomes a cop and then becomes a detective, goes undercover, gets into intelligence a little bit, connects himself with the Klan. He calls a newspaper article to try and get involved with them. And he's black, of course. But he starts talking to them and building a relationship over the phone. They're so interested in him that they want to meet. It's like, how does this work? Like, are they just going to put a hood on the whole time? Is what I was thinking. Like, I don't understand. Or it was just going to be an outrageous kind of comedy kind of thing. But that's not what it is. So, enter Adam Driver, Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren is another cop in intelligence with Reggie from Ballers, and so they create a persona. Ron Stallworth is actually his name, and Reggie talks over the phone while Adam Driver goes in person. So they got to be in lockstep, and that's really what the whole first part is setting up, is how they infiltrate, or at least how they get involved in the organization or the KKK. Reggie is basically the brains behind it, Ron Stallworth, and Adam Driver is the stunt double, if you will. But they kind of catch you a little bit. You talk a little bit different, but they fix it. And so now he's getting really heavily involved. Both of them, mainly Adam Driver, is hanging out with them. They're making plans on starting a war against white people. In the meantime, Reggie, who does all the phone calls, has connected with David Duke, who's the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And that's who Topher Grace is playing. And so he's developing that relationship there again, trying to get him to, in further and higher up as they infiltrate the Klan. And that's it. That's really where we're at. You can see it's building to something as they get deeper and deeper involved, and as they start making plans for, some wars or some crimes that they're going to start committing as the cops are involved. So we'll see where it goes from here. I just wanted to check in real quick. We're over the halfway point, and I'll watch it to the end, and I'll let you know what I think so far. Pretty good. A little long, I think, but it might pick up here. All right, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of BlacKkKlansman. Good movie, really good. I think the biggest knock on it for me is probably the length. Normally it's funny when I talk, I always say, hey, they could have made it a little bit longer, they missed a couple of parts. This kind of seemed like it was on for a while. And I'm just seeing now the credits, Spike Lee movie, and Jordan Peele was also a producer in it. And it builds up to an action-packed kind of ending, which made it worthwhile. Definitely a great movie to see. Just a little bit longer. And one of the things before I forget, Michael Buscemi. So Steve Buscemi, he's in a lot of different things. Seeing him, I didn't realize he had a brother. I'm assuming it's his brother, Michael. It looks just like him. I was watching it, and I was like, oh, Steve Buscemi's in this. And then I got a little closer and I'm like, wow, he's like really disguised. And I looked it up. I was like, oh no, it's Michael Buscemi. He's in this. So I thought that was good. And a lot of good actors in this. You know, like some I forget all their names, but whatever. Like that, people that I like. Alec Baldwin was only in the beginning. He was in throughout the rest of the film. But you know, I mean, I think it's very. I guess it's a political driven movie, obviously. But it's about a true story about Ron Stallworth, and I told you everything that he goes through. Interesting point that I forgot to talk about was Adam Driver's character is actually Jewish. So he is actually joining the Ku Klux Klan, you know, as Ron Stallworth, who's actually black, but he's Jewish himself and he's going undercover, so very difficult. They did have some funny movies. I wouldn't call it a comedy, but I think it was light enough. You know, not a comedy, but light enough that you could enjoy something that has a very serious undertone to it. Obviously, I mean, everything that, you know, goes on with the racism and stuff like that, and you know, anyway, the great movie up and to the end, and I thought it was good. There was one, then they started showing at the end. I thought they were going to talk a little bit about, you know, what happens with Ron Stallworth afterwards, and the group, and you know how I like to see those things. What happens after the movie? They didn't. They jumped to Charlottesville, and they showed real live footage from Charlottesville, Virginia, when you know that went down. So I found that, you know, okay. I mean, I think there's other things that you could show. You could have showed a whole montage of different things that has happened that, you know, are against racism, or that is for racism, whatever. They chose that. I'm not exactly sure why, but maybe that was the piece. That event is what sparked the creation of, hey, let's go back and write this movie about Ron Stallworth and everything he did to take down the Klan. Anyway, that's enough. Definitely worth watching. Check it out. I liked everybody, and Reggie from Ballers. I think he did a phenomenal job. I've only ever seen him in Ballers, and I always know him as Reggie, the receiver, the hotshot. And I think he does a good job of, I mean, you still can see pieces of Reggie in his character, but he breaks away from it and it becomes another character. So he's got a little bit of range. This is only the second thing I've seen him in. So anyway, and I always love Adam Driver. I think he's outstanding. Seen him in a lot of different things. So I like him a lot. I know I'm rambling on because I want you to watch this film. And then I want you to comment. And I want you to like my page. And I want you to subscribe. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.